somehow it is May, which means we are officially in the summer movie season. Now I will say right off the bat, this summer isn't looking as strong as last year. If you remember last year, it was just back-to-back bangers. But while there's some great looking stuff coming out this summer, there's just not as much. Before we do get into the top 5, I do have some honourable mentions. Those are Kinds of Kindness, the new Yorgos Lanthimos film. Deadpool and Wolverine, I am mixed on. I wasn't a huge fan of the first teaser trailer they put out, but I liked the newest trailer they put out. And finally, The Fall Guy. I probably would have put this on the list, but this movie comes out in like 2 or 3 days, so it kind of feels like a waste of a spot. But I am very much looking forward to that film. With all that down, let's get into the top 5. At number 5, I have If, written and directed by John Krasinski, starring Ryan Reynolds and a lot of other people. There's not as much hype surrounding this film as I think there should be. I think the trailers look really heartwarming. It also looks funny. As I said, the cast is stacked. And I'm really intrigued to see how John Krasinski handles a family film. And also I want to support this movie because it's an original idea. And from the trailers, it really seems like Paramount gave this a big budget. And it's pretty rare we get original big budget movies. At number 4 is Hitman, directed by Richard Linklater. This movie stars Glenn Powell, who also co-wrote the screenplay with Richard Linklater. Glenn Powell is just continuously proving himself to be a movie star. He was great in Top Gun Maverick. He was obviously such a big part of Anyone But You, which was such a huge success. And the reviews for this movie coming out of festivals have been insane. I have heard nothing but rave things about Hitman. I don't really know what to expect going into it because the reviews have kind of suggested expect the unexpected. But I love Richard Linklater. Boyhood especially is in my top 20 favourite movies of all time. And this is a movie that's going to Netflix, but it is getting a limited theatrical release, so I will absolutely try my best to see it in cinemas. At number 3 is Bad Boys Ride or Die. I remember saying something similar in my top 10 most anticipated films of the year video, but I went into Bad Boys for Life expecting something really disposable and throwaway, but I don't think I've ever been more surprised by a movie. I had an absolute blast. I saw it twice in cinemas. And by the way, that was the highest grossing Hollywood movie of 2020. Not like it had much competition, but still. And the same creative team behind the last movie are returning for Ride or Die. The trailer was so much fun, it's made me even more hyped for this. Am I going into this expecting a masterpiece? Absolutely not. But as long as it's fun, I will be satisfied. And because this movie is from the directors of the cancelled Batgirl movie, I really hope this is good enough that proves that movie should have been released. It should not have been scrapped. Here we are, top 2. At number 2, I have Inside Out 2. When this movie was announced, I was like, really? Is this necessary? I thought this movie was just going to be a cash-in on the Inside Out name, and the first Inside Out is one of my all-time favourite animated movies and is in my top 20 all-time favourite movies full stop. But the trailers for Inside Out 2 have really won me over. From the trailers, I really feel like this movie is going to be heartfelt and meaningful, really continuing Riley's journey in an exciting way. And I think in recent years, Pixar have struggled, but I'm really hoping this can be a comeback for them. So at number 1, my most anticipated film of summer 2024 is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I'm a big fan of the Planet of the Apes reboot trilogy. I love Rise, I love Dawn, I love War. And again, I think when this movie was announced, I was a bit like, really? Because Caesar's journey was done so well. And spoilers if you haven't seen it, Caesar dies at the end of War for the Planet of the Apes. So I just didn't really know where they could go from here. But trailers can do wonders. And the trailers for Kingdom made this movie look epic. Visually, obviously, it looks incredible. But it really seems like they have a great story that's going to mean something. Like every time I see the trailers, I get chills. Do I think this movie is going to be as good as the trilogy? No, I do think the others are probably going to end up being better, but I still think this movie is going to be great, and as long as it just continues the story in a satisfying way, I'll be happy. So guys, those are my top 5 most anticipated films of the summer. What are your most anticipated? Let me know below. Thank you for watching this video. You guys are awesome. Blu-ray Billy, logging off.